Hiroshi Shimizu. I was born in Topaz concentration camp in Utah. My father's name appeared on the list of people that the Japanese government found as acceptable for exchange for Americans that were caught in Japan at the time. His story was that he didn't want to return to Japan, but his father, who was arrested by the FBI the day after Pearl Harbor and then imprisoned at Fort Missoula in Montana and then at Fort Santa Fe in New Mexico, we ended up on the waiting list. We were sent from New Jersey to the closest camp, which was Rohr in Arkansas. We were there about 4 or 5 days. He was among a group of people that were trying to improve the conditions of Tule Lake. He felt that the conditions were terrible. He was elected to this negotiating committee. As soon as that committee was announced, they were arrested and put into the stockade for about 2 months. I remember when my father was released, he talked about the hunger strike. My mother, she answered the loyalty questionnaire, question 28, about forswearing loyalty to the Emperor of Japan and swearing loyalty to America. At the end of 1945, December, the government had a choice of either releasing us, the family, or further incarcerating us. And they chose to incarcerate us longer. And the only camp that was open by that time was Crystal City, Texas, which is also where the Japanese Peruvians were being kept. And then there were Germans and Italians also at that camp. Many of them said prison life was better than life in the relocation camps. I didn't get to San Francisco until I was almost 5. We slowly made our way to San Francisco. It took maybe a month or 2. So when I started school, I didn't speak English. So for the first week, I had to walk around with a sign that said, "Do not speak English." My mother had prepared me by saying, "You'll be going to school with a lot of African Americans and they're just like us." So I didn't feel any impetus to discriminate, and I got along famously with all the kids in my school. One of the Tule Lake pilgrimages, I met a man, Bill Nishimura. He said, "Oh, I used to work for your father at Crystal City. I used to be his typist." He said, "Your dad was the camp manager." He said, "He ran everything there." The white guy that was in charge just always said, "Okay," rubber stamped it. He said, "Yeah, your father was the big man at Crystal City." And there's still a community of Japanese Americans in Seabrook, New Jersey to this day. That's one of the places that my father helped people to go to just to get out of the internment camp. I felt that very kind of spiritual feeling of being there. I became very active within the committee that was putting that pilgrimage together by 2000, 2002, getting other people to participate in the pilgrimage. It's made me more cautious about trust in general, about trust in the government, but at the same time, I take pride in the fact that we're incarcerated at Tule Lake. We're protesting their situation. They were vocal and unhappy with being incarcerated. It's really important that people participate in the community and with the issues that arise. So I take pride in that.